Hello everybody, the Astroviber report for November 10th to November 17th. What a funny week, funny week. A lot of things happened on it, especially when the moon was in Aries. There's a lot of people who had triggered the ego, they triggered the things on it, and that energy kind of like still present, but it's walking away because the moon moved into Taurus. The moon moved into Taurus. First of all, I want to apologize. I posted the video on my old channel. I didn't post the video on the new channel, so I'm going to put the video on the both channels, so that way the both side of people can see them. So here we go. We are going on with what's going on now. What's going on with right now in the sky? We're having the moon, it's just approaching, just moved out of Aries and moved into Taurus, but that strong opposition with Mars and Libra and also the union with Uranus, a lot of the people is going to go against the universe. They're going to go against themselves, against that energy that is present in the earth. Since Uranus is in retrograde mode, got to be very careful. This is energy that is about the soul. And if you touching your ego base, it doesn't matter if you're feminine or masculine. Mars, who is in Libra, which is the relationships, everything that it's about relationship, treat it nicely, treat it slowly, take a time. Don't go and fight everything and everyone in the world so you can be right. Very careful with this information because this is gonna comes in and it's gonna bite you, it's gonna hurt you. You're gonna hurt other people. And be careful when this information from you, from your ego, comes out and you can go ahead and tell everybody, because this is how the negative vibes they get transmuted from one person to another. The best thing to look at it in this case is look at your growth, which is Jupiter. The moon has got a very good trine with Jupiter. Look at your growth, express your growth, and then the growth is going to lead Mars in to calm down and understand he has to go ahead and look at the energy to the growth, not to what he is, not to looking the lower energies on it. Don't get into any kind of fights, verbal, physical, whatever it's going on into. You have to go and move up, evolve from this. Let the things to be going on in its own way into. And this is for right now. Here what's going to happen tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Here the moon is right here, but it's not going to trigger too much into Mars. It's going to go a little bit forward and moving to it, but it's still going to have this trine that it's going to be with Saturn. Looking at your limitations. If you overcome your limitations, as you see here, the blue lines, that energy is going to be very good with the union with Mercury retrograde with the Sun and Scorpio. That means you're going to be finding your limitations, you find your real issues, seeing the things that you do wrong and overcoming. Once you overcome, you're going to find this inner peace. Otherwise, you're still going to be fighting with Mars inside of you. And kind of like stay away from those energies of you to go and fight. Don't fight, even if it's the truth. Let the truth to comes out and fight, defend it itself. You don't have to be go ahead and tell everybody the truth. The truth is going to come out. Is going to come out at the right time, the right place. Into Tuesday. It's going to be a very funny day because the moon, when it's in Taurus, that energy towards the sun, this is going to be, if you're talking about the full moon, and it's going to opposing the sun and Mercury retrograde. To remind you that during this period, when the moon is in Taurus and the full moon, you have to be very careful with the people that you're going to be cutting connections with it. That can be this typical stubbornness of the Taurus, that once I cut off with you, I cut off with you, and I don't want to see you, I don't want to talk to you, and you are dead to me. So be careful how you cut connections if you have to cut with someone, but that strong opposition is going to create a lot of interference in you. You're going to feel like, you know what, I don't need to deal with this, I don't want to do with this, and it's going to be this emotions of the Taurus. It's like they cannot tell me anything. I am right, I am right, I am right, and the train is coming, it hits the bull, and that's it, no more bull. So gotta be very careful of how the life is gonna go on with this. It still is gonna be this energy between Uranus and Mars. Again, careful with that. The best thing you can listen here is look at it. You're surrounding with the good friends, which is this Pluto. There is sextile Mercury retrograde with the Sun, and your own limitations. Look at it for someone who can teach you, someone who can explain you things instead of you going with the bull horns, with the Mars that it's warrior and the Moon that it's in Taurus, and you are like going on like 100 miles an hour and fight. Wednesday, the moon is going to move to Gemini. Very, very good position because this is going to be the time when you're going to look at the positions of the feminine and masculine inside of you. During this period when the moon is going to be going into Gemini, that is going to be the time when you're going to have these emotions, those vibrations inside of you. They're going to be connected with internal yourself. You, the beginning of the day, that is not going to make any kind of like a very kind of like intense aspects. It's going to be not intense energy. As long as you learn to let it go of the energies that I was already talking to, because they're going to be present here. But this energy here, it's going to be very peaceful and it's going to be very productive because of Mercury retrograde with Saturn and Pluto and Neptune, who is retrograde still. That energy, if you tapping into this energy to look at your inner visions of like, hey, hold on a minute, don't do stupid things, think about it. How about you look at yourself, how you look at your higher self, look at your soul. What would you act if you are angel? What would you act if you're a priest? What would you act if you're mentor? What would you act if you're a coach? So that energy here is going to be very, very good for that kind of like inner work on your own self. Into Thursday. Here we go. The moon moves again, and we are going to see this time when you reevaluate things. And now, since the ego is activated, you're going to see those oppositions here between Venus and Jupiter with the moon in Gemini, and you're going to have a lot of duality fights inside of you. But that it's all if you focus on typically the physical part. If you focus on the spiritual part, that's the yard between Mercury retrograde and here we have Saturn and Pluto, but it's mostly through Saturn. And this is the time when you're going to be learning the biggest spiritual lessons, that the messages that going to come from Mercury retrograde, going into your emotions, going through the bad and the good inside of you, and then it's going to be like, okay, I understand what limitation is. I need to evolve in my soul. Very good day, but careful of who you're going to listen to it. You're going to listen your ego or you're going to listen your soul energy, that it's helping you out to remove the bad stuff of you inside of it, because Mercury is in a Scorpio. Friday, the moon is gonna begin to exit Gemini. It's gonna enter to Cancer. Anytime when the moon goes back home in Cancer, it's gonna be those emotions of what I did wrong, what's going on, oh, they abandoned me, or they are this and they are that. Look at your own emotions about yourself. What do you need to control your own emotions? It's gonna be a very good period of the setting of the things. Um, between the universe and the warrior inside of you, that energy can calm down. And but at the same time, there's going to be this um, like a pyramid look into it, and that energy is going to be opposing towards growth when it comes into Cancer. You gotta be careful how you're using your emotions. You can use your emotions to go ahead, connect it to the universe. From there, you're gonna go ahead, connect it to your growth. The growth is gonna make the wise warrior inside of you, and the wise warrior is gonna present the right emotions. Otherwise, you can go ahead and crossroad yourself into, and those crossroads, it's going to be driving you crazy like no tomorrow. Into that's going to be the time when we are going to begin to have the workshop, and it's going to be a very good thing because we also have the North Node in Cancer. which is perfect time for the being to the family. Saturday, as you see it, the moon moves here. What changes here, it's gonna be this trine between the water signs. That is a perfect time for you to get your emotions in order. Since the moon is in Cancer, the cardinal sign that it's here from the emotions, if you're using Mercury retrograde, and if you're using Mercury retrograde to Neptune, and from there go back into the moon, perfect time to do a self-realizations through your emotions, but also through your vibrations. But again, a big warning here, if you see your own limitations, it doesn't look at it outside of the box. If you don't see the people there around you where it's going on, you can go ahead and really drive yourself really to a madness. If you're in a relationship, you're gonna be like, oh, it's about my family, it's about my family. But if you're in a relationship with the family and you're in the wrong part of the family side, then even if you're the family side, but your mind and your brain it's somewhere else, it's someplace else, you're not effective for the family. So be careful how you're thinking about all these positions inside of you. Mars is still is going to be opposing Uranus, but this time Uranus is going to become opposing Mercury retrograde. A lot of the people is not gonna like the messages they're hearing, and they're like, I don't want to hear about this. I don't want to know what's going on. I don't know what happened. I don't know. I don't know. And the biggest rejections here is that you have to keep listening to it because those are the right messages. That the things that you refuse to hear. Mercury is going to be having this trine with Neptune, and look at it in your visions again. Look at it. That will help you to see the clear road of how to navigate through the hard times, how to navigate through this heavy energies, and that will be on Saturday and Sunday. The intense energy is going to be increasing, specifically in the morning. Uh, this opposition with Pluto and Saturn, and also we are going to have a Mars who is about to exit Libra. Is going to go beginning to feel the energy in Scorpio. To remind you that Mars in Scorpio, it's the Scorpion King. He's the warrior. He doesn't care about the things. He doesn't care about relationships. He doesn't care about whatever happens. He only wants to care is about one thing: to win. And those emotions, those intense emotions, to some of you, they can be kind of like a crossing borders inside of you. Very kind of like a dangerous period. Usually when Mars is in Scorpio, there is a things that goes on. It's like a accident and things that are not pretty good during those periods of it. So be careful how you look at all this. Don't take anything personally. Don't focus on yourself as that much because it's about you. It's not only about you. Life it's about you and to live with people around you. So this is going to be the astrology report to you. Thank you guys for so much watching the video, and be love.